This video is sponsored by SetApp. Stick around to the end of this video to find out more.
iOS 18.4 is officially out now, and so here's a look at what's new in the latest update from Apple. iOS 18.4 adds an Apple Intelligence priority notifications feature that shows you your most important notifications first. Priority notifications is disabled by default, so in order to turn it on, you're going to have to go into Settings, Notifications, and then Prioritize Notifications, and then tap the toggle to toggle it on. Priority notifications can also be set up on a per-app basis with toggles available in the same sections of the Settings app. With the feature enabled, Apple Intelligence will now show notifications that may be important in a dedicated section at the top of the lock screen's notification center. Just like we saw with the iPhone 16e, visual intelligence is now able to be accessed via the action button on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max that do not have camera control. Visual intelligence can be activated again via the control center or with the action button. And in the control center, there's now a new Apple Intelligence section. This new section includes Type to Siri, along with new options for activating Siri and visual intelligence directly from the control center. Speaking of Apple Intelligence, in Image Playground, you now have a sketch style that joins the pre-existing animation and illustration styles. Sketch was previously available for Image One, but now it's the official third style that can be used inside of the Image Playground app. Emoji fans will be thrilled to hear that there are some actual new characters in 18.4, and those new characters include bags under eyes, fingerprint, leafless tree, root vegetable, harp, shovel, and splatter. If you have an Apple Vision Pro, there's a new Vision Pro app for your iPhone that allows users to scroll through different sections for things like immersive video, 3D movies, and more, and it gives you the ability to actually download apps directly to your headset, as well as some of the other content that you might stumble upon while looking through those various sections. Guest setup can now be managed on an iPhone or iPad linked to a Vision Pro as well, making it so much easier for Vision Pro owners to let others test their headset. For Apple News Plus subscribers, there's now an Apple News food section. The food section features tens of thousands of recipes, stories about restaurants, tips for healthy eating, kitchen essentials, and so much more. Content will come from top food publishers such as All Recipes, Bon Appetit, Food and Wine, Good Food, and so much more. And Apple News editors will curate food-related stories, and there will also be a dedicated recipe catalog section where new recipes are added regularly. And there's an included cook mode, which provides step-by-step directions, and users can save favorite recipes for offline access. iOS 18.4 also includes an ambient music option that can be added to Control Center, and that features 4 different sound categories, including sleep, chill, productivity, and well-being. Each category can be added to the Control Center separately, and tapping one plays a random selection of sounds or music from that particular category. If you tap on the ambient music button that you added while you're in edit mode, you can actually select different options within each category. And if you play ambient music and then tap into the dynamic island at the top or access the Now Playing widget, you can skip songs and see the name of what's currently playing. Now, those are some of the bigger changes that are featured in this update. There are lots of other little changes and tweaks, so be sure to check the link in the description down below. Look at the full article and see all of what's new. But really quick, I'll go through a couple of other ones here in like rapid fire. So in the Photos app, there are new options to filter your library by images that were shared with you, by others, or by those that are not included in an album, which is useful for separating out content that you've organized into albums. Also inside of the Photos app, the recently deleted section now has one-tap options to delete all photos and to recover all photos. In iOS 18.4, HomeKit supports robot vacuums. Adding a vacuum to the Home app requires a vacuum with Matter support, and that requires robot vacuum manufacturers to actually implement Matter. And there are some that are already doing it or have already implemented it, but not all Matter-enabled robot vacuums will be added to HomeKit right away, so just something to keep in mind. Again, there are more other tweaks and subtle changes in this update, so be sure to click that link in the description down below to check them all out, and of course, follow along with us here on the YouTube channel for more updates along the way. Before we end today's video, I do want to give you more information about today's sponsor, SetApp. SetApp is the ultimate place to get apps for your Mac and even your iPhone. For one monthly subscription price, you get access to hundreds of apps. And these apps aren't just like random apps that you wouldn't have any use for. In fact, there are tons of apps that I was paying for on a regular basis and quite frankly couldn't live without these apps. For example, Paste is an absolutely fantastic clipboard manager that I have been using for years. I have it synced across all of my devices, and anytime I copy anything, it goes into this easy to find tray that I can also categorize or search for keywords in order to find something that I might have copied and pasted months ago. I use this daily, as well as CleanShot X, which is just an excellent screenshot tool and screen recording app that takes your basic screenshots and screen recordings to a whole other level with so many great features and tools for annotating, blurring, and editing the content. I've also been a recent user of Notch Nook for my MacBook Pro because it just makes the notch on my MacBook far more useful by acting as a place for more information at a quick glance. I can toggle media controls, or I can drag and drop files to that notch and just be able to use it as a tray for holding and then sharing those files later on. And there are just tons of other useful features. There are actually so many great apps to choose from here, and I highly recommend that you just give SetApp a try. And you can try SetApp with an extended 30-day trial by clicking on the link down in the description below or scanning the QR code here that you've been looking at on screen. Thanks SetApp for sponsoring this video, and of course, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you around in the next video.